Hollywood legend and an American original. Carrie Fisher, whose role as Princess Leia in Star Wars, died today in Los Angeles with her family by her side.
For many, passing away peacefully in their sleep at a ripe old age is perhaps the most natural human way to go.
I'm going to play for my life. That's what I'm going to do, you know. And so I played for my life, and they let me live.
But not everyone gets that gentle departure. Some of the world's most famous stars closed their eyes, expecting to wake up to another day, only to never open them again. Brace yourself as we uncover the stories of famous people who died in their sleep.
You ever hear of a ritual killing?
John Candy had a way of making you feel like you knew him. Whether it was as the lovable Del Griffith in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or the bumbling but endearing Uncle Buck, he wasn't just funny, he was real.
The one thing I really enjoyed doing was being part of the drama department. I tried a number of different things, but I kept going back to performing.
But behind the laughter, Candy struggled with his health and personal demons. On March 4th, 1994, while filming Wagons East in Mexico, Candy called his co-stars after shooting what many considered his best scene yet. He had a quiet dinner with his assistants, then went to bed. He never woke up. The beloved comedian suffered a fatal heart attack at just 43 years old. His weight, smoking habit, cocaine use, and family history of heart disease had all been concerns. But no one expected the end to come so soon. Hollywood mourned the loss of a giant. Steve Martin, Tom Hanks, and so many others paid tribute. Even today, his children Jennifer and Christopher honor his legacy, reminding us that John Candy wasn't just a star, he was family to all of us.
Strong, big desire to be like major personality. I just hope to get the opportunity to keep working and, with some really interesting parts with some really great people.
Ray Liotta's intensity made him unforgettable. From Goodfellas to Field of Dreams, he brought raw energy to every role. But behind that tough exterior was a man who cherished his craft, his daughter, and the quiet moments in between.
Reaction pouring in for actor Ray Liotta after the Goodfellas and Field of Dreams star died Thursday at the age of 67.
On May 26, 2022, Liotta was in the Dominican Republic filming Dangerous Waters. He went to sleep and never woke up, with his fiancée, JC Nitolo, by his side. Almost a year later, it was revealed he died from heart and respiratory failure, linked to atherosclerotic disease. He was just 67. The news shocked Hollywood. Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, and countless co-stars paid tribute to the man who defined mob movie greatness and won an Emmy for ER. But Ray Liotta wasn't just a gangster on screen or a voice in Grand Theft Auto. He was a devoted father, a relentless artist, and a legend who left us too soon. Shelley Duvall was an ethereal presence, best known as Wendy Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and for her collaborations with director Robert Altman. Her unique look and quirky charm made her a standout in 1970s cinema. But behind her captivating performances, she faced personal battles, including health challenges. On July 11, 2024, Duvall passed away in her sleep at her home in Blanco, Texas, due to complications from diabetes. She was 75. Her partner Dan Gilroy shared, "Now she's free. Fly away, beautiful Shelley." From Three Women, which won her Best Actress at Cannes, to Popeye and her beloved children's TV programs, Duvall's legacy is one of versatility and storytelling magic. Her departure marks the end of an era, but her performances continue to inspire and enchant audiences worldwide. Phil Silvers had comedy in his veins, Best known as the fast-talking Sergeant Bilko, he defined sitcom brilliance in the 1950s. His wit was razor-sharp, his timing impeccable, and his influence on comedy? Unmatched. But behind the laughter, Silvers faced personal struggles, including a stroke in 1972 and battles with depression and gambling addiction. On November 1st, 1985, he passed away in his sleep at his Century City apartment. He was 74. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy lives on. From Broadway to television, Silvers' impact on entertainment remains undeniable. His influence shaped the very foundation of TV comedy, inspiring shows like Seinfeld and The Office. The king of chutzpah may be gone, but Sergeant Bilko, he'll never be forgotten. Tommy Dorsey's trombone wasn't just an instrument, it was a voice, smooth and soulful, defining the swing era. With his biggest hit, I'll Never Smile Again, topping charts for 12 weeks, he led one of the greatest big bands of all time, shaping the sound of American jazz.
Smile again until I...
But on November 26, 1956, Dorsey's music came to an abrupt end. After a heavy meal, he took sleeping pills to rest. But tragically, he choked in his sleep. He was 51. His death was ruled an accident, but his influence was no fluke. Frank Sinatra owed much of his early success to Dorsey, who taught him breath control and showmanship. Today, his legacy lives on in the timeless swing rhythms that still get toes tapping. The sentimental gentleman of swing may have played his last note, but his music? It never stopped playing. Robin Harris was the kind of comedian who could make you laugh until you cried. His raw, rapid-fire storytelling, especially his Bebe's Kids routine, made him a rising star in Hollywood.
I went to pick up the next day, here she got 4 more kids. I said, who kids to them? She said, them Bebe kids.
But just as his career was taking off, tragedy struck. In the early hours of March 18, 1990, after performing a sold-out stand-up set in Chicago, Harris returned to his hotel room and never woke up. He died from cardiac arrhythmia at just 36 years old. The comedy world was stunned. Harris had just seen the release of his breakout film House Party 9 days earlier, and talks of a Bebe's Kids movie were in the air. Instead, the film became animated 2 years later, keeping his legacy alive. Robin Harris had a voice like no other, unapologetic, hilarious, and real. And while his time was cut short, his impact on comedy will never fade.
I'm going to play for my life. That's what I'm going to do, you know. And so I played for my life, and they let me live.
Jerry Garcia wasn't just a musician. He was a movement. As the heart of the Grateful Dead, his soulful guitar and free-spirited voice defined an era of peace, love, and psychedelic sound. But behind the music was a man battling addiction and declining health. On July 9, 1995, Garcia played his final show with the Dead at Chicago's Soldier Field. A month later, on August 9th, he was found dead at Serenity Knolls, a rehab facility in Forest Knolls, California. A heart attack took him at just 53 years old. The world lost more than a rock legend that day. It lost a symbol of the counterculture itself. Fans mourned in tie-dye and tears, while even Wall Street felt the tremor as news of his death crashed the Bloomberg terminal. But Garcia's legacy never stopped spinning. His music lives on in every jam band, every festival, and every deadhead keeping the dream alive. The show must go on. But without Jerry, it will never be the same.
Hollywood legend and an American original. Carrie Fisher, whose role as Princess Leia in Star Wars, died today in Los Angeles with her family by her side.
Carrie Fisher was more than Princess Leia. She was a force of nature. An actress, writer, and outspoken advocate for mental health, she never shied away from life's battles. But in the end, one battle proved too much. On December 23, 2016, Fisher suffered a heart attack mid-flight from London to Los Angeles.
We have an unresponsive passenger.
4 days later, she passed away in her sleep at just 60 years old. The official cause? Sleep apnea and other undetermined factors, with heart disease and drug use playing a role. A complex mix that took one of Hollywood's brightest minds too soon. Her death sent shockwaves through the world. But her legacy lives on, not just in Star Wars, but in her best-selling books, her work as a sought-after script doctor, and her fearless advocacy for mental health awareness. Carrie Fisher didn't just play a hero, she was one, bravely sharing her struggles with bipolar disorder and addiction to help others. Carl Weathers was the definition of strength. Whether as Apollo Creed in Rocky, battling the Predator, mentoring Adam Sandler in Happy Gilmore, or guiding the Mandalorian, he brought intensity and charisma to every role. But behind the tough exterior was a man deeply respected and loved in Hollywood. On February 1, 2024, Weathers passed away peacefully in his sleep at 76, with his family announcing his death the following day. His cause of death was revealed as atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, a silent battle he had fought for years. His loss was felt across generations. From former NFL colleagues to Sylvester Stallone and Star Wars fans, tributes poured in for the man who embodied resilience. Weathers' journey from professional football to Hollywood stardom showcased his versatility and determination. Carl Weathers didn't just play legends, he was one. His legacy of strength, talent, and determination lives on, inspiring actors and audiences alike.
Our producers who really work hard on this show and who I really appreciate. Wow, they just fainted. And I was kidding.
Bob Saget was America's dad, beloved for his role as Danny Tanner on Full House and his outrageous comedy. He made us laugh. He made us feel at home. But in January 2022, his life ended in a way no one expected.
Actor and comedian Bob Saget has died. He was, of course, the longtime host of the show, also best known for his role as Danny Tanner on the show Full House.
On the afternoon of January 9th, Saget was found unresponsive in his Orlando hotel room. At first, there were no signs of foul play, but the autopsy revealed he had suffered multiple skull fractures, most likely from an accidental fall. He went to sleep unaware of the severity of his injuries and never woke up. He was just 65. His death stunned fans and friends alike. From Full House co-stars to fellow comedians, tributes poured in. Bob Saget was more than just funny. He was kind, generous, and full of life. Even though he's gone, his laughter still echoes. Sleep, peaceful, silent, and for these stars, the doorway to the unknown. They left behind legacies that will never fade, but their final moments remain a haunting reminder of how fragile life truly is. Did any of these losses shock you the most? Are there other famous figures who met the same fate? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the lives and mysterious deaths of the world's most famous figures. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes the end comes when we least expect it.